Finally, lesson 4, we are into drills for this power method of business writing. Yes, breath of fresh air, which I really needed. The whole pen holding and body position thing was driving me bonkers. So, what we need to do in lesson 4 is look at some drills, which I'm just referring to the manual down here next to me. And ideally, I think the best way to do this is just to go straight into the first person view. So that's what we'll jump into right now. Okay, so with lesson 4 exercise drill 1, the first exercise is to do a series of up and down strokes. So this will really help with getting consistent slope, and also just getting that idea of one of the key strokes is pulling it straight down towards the body. So that's quite crucial, and they make quite a point about that in the manual. So what I've done here, I've just divided the line up into 4 areas. You know, it's probably a bit less than a couple of inches, or 50 mil, but that's neither here nor there. So the basic exercise, which I'll just demonstrate now, is just literally going back and forth. So this is also really getting used to that motion, that the fingers and the hands are staying quite still, really just holding the pen, and it's the forearm and the upper arm driving the movement. So with this exercise, you really got to keep in mind that 90-degree bend at the elbow. That's quite critical. So after we get to that first mark there, we can move the paper and continue on. So really try to stay in between the lines, which I'm not doing a very good job of right now. Apparently talking and writing is a bit too hard for me. So that's the idea. And you want to make them really consistent, and so you can see here I've got a lot of white patches through, so ideally you want it consistent throughout. You don't really want all the white patches there. And then we move the paper again, so my right arm position doesn't have to move. And that's really one of the sections of drill 1. Now I am covering 2 lines, so that's the idea of this exercise as well. You cover 2 lines of writing with this vertical movement. Oh look, here we're getting a bit more consistent now. Well done, Keith. You can draw lines up and down. Alright, so that's one part, and you just continue on. I might as well finish this one. Oops. Now anyway, stop making excuses for myself and just concentrate on writing, right? Okay, so that's one part of drill 1, and then the other part, we won't divide it up. The other part, we just start with drawing these strokes to help us form the slope, and then it's about creating these circular motions or ovals. Whoops. So when you start, they say just to do 6, 4, 5, 6. Start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then as you get used to the movement, do 10 circles. So still moving the arm, which you probably can't see because it's not in the shot, not moving the fingers like this. Having said that, what I have found is that if you have a relaxed grip on the pen, and when you start moving your hand or your arm around, the pen, your fingers will move a bit, and that's because you're holding the pen nice and lightly. So firm but light. Doesn't quite make sense, but you know, you're not gripping it and really keeping a lot of tension through your fingers to maintain that exact position of your hand. I think it's important to have quite a light grip, but still maintaining control of the pen. So I found that by moving, when you move your arm, this part of your arm here, your fingers will naturally move, and that's fine. I think that's fine. Now, the other point that the lesson makes is about speed. So what they're saying is that within each quadrant, so within each section like this, that you should be able to do 100 strokes. So, and you count the downstrokes only, and the timing is supposed to be within 30 seconds. Now, in terms of the rhythm, what that means is that it's something like this, which I really struggle to keep up to the time, but it's something like this. It's really like you're colouring in. That's the sort of speed you want to be doing it at if you want to maintain that 130 seconds. You know, and I guess that if you think of it like colouring in, it's alright. If you try to count this, I think it makes it a lot harder. So counting it would be like something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. So on and so forth. And you got to try to do that when you're starting out. You know, it's just keeping a watch there so you can time it. My personal feeling is that is not so important. I think it's important, and the point they do make about speed, which I think actually backs up my opinion of it, is that if you go too fast, you won't be able to get a consistent line. If you go too slow, then you'll have very light, spidery lines going all over the place. It's hard to control if you're doing it too slow. So it's about getting a good speed. Now, I think a good speed is different for each person. I don't think it is as prescriptive as being able to accomplish 100 downstrokes within the space of 30 seconds. So as you saw me doing it up here, I was really doing it at my own rhythm, which for me, just for demonstration purposes, is something like this. I like to take my time, you know, what's the rush? Enjoy it. That's why we get nice pens, right? So we can enjoy writing, enjoy the experience. So this is the nice speed for me. I'm happy with this speed, you know. If people want me to take notes faster, well, too bad. They can ask someone else to do it. I never liked being secretary in meetings anyway. And then with the circle ones, you know, you can see I don't do an awesome job of that. But it does get consistent, and I must say, the more you, like, the further along you get, as you kind of get along here, you see, I think, you know, some of these are a bit nicer than words I first started with. I like this exercise really as to loosen up your hand as well. So that's the idea with drill 1 from lesson 4, and also a bit about the timing, and you also got a bit about my input, my opinion of it as well. So I think that really does it for lesson 4. So this is Keep the Handy Bad Droid logging off.